The Kdrama love triangle is an element that never fails to make us groan in pain. And most often, us viewers are left distraught with a handsome, charming, and kind-hearted second male lead left alone without love. Think of Cheese in the Trap's Baek Ho, Boys Over Flowers' Yoon Ji-hoo, True Beauty's Han So-jun, and many, many more. All perfect boyfriend materials that lost out to the male lead. But what if the tables turn for once, and the male lead is the one to lose? Today, we are bringing to you K-dramas where it's the second lead that gets the girl. Number 1. Love Alarm. This Netflix original series was a sensation upon release. Combining love with an app that can detect feelings in a set proximity, Love Alarm is a unique series that perhaps resonates all the more with a tech-savvy youth. The series tells the tale of Kim Jojo, who finds herself entangled in a love triangle. In Season 1, the Love Alarm app has brought Jojo and Sun-oh together, despite the negative reactions from their family and school. While Sun-oh is a rich guy, Jojo is a poor girl that struggles under her aunt's scrutiny. And throughout the series, the two learn to rise from their many obstacles and find happiness within each other. Yet, at the very moment we thought that this would be yet another Cinderella story, the series took us by complete surprise. Taking a step back from Sun-oh, right from the start of Love Alarm, we were introduced to his best friend Hye-young, who also holds feelings for Jojo. This makes Hye-young the dreaded second male lead, and unlike Sun-oh, he has a much more difficult background. In the first episode, we come across him working part-time at a diner, running around with a bike in the cold night, a complete opposite image compared to a Sun-oh that chills in a fancy car. And unlike Sun-oh, who kissed Jojo from the very first episode, our second lead keeps true to the book and only looks from afar, holding his feelings to himself. Everything seems like a perfect setup, where the forward male lead gets the girl and the second lead looks on with sorrow. And yet, at the end of Season 2, the viewers of Love Alarm found their jaws dropped, because Jojo chose to stay with Hye-young. And what led her to such a suggestion? Well, why not find out for yourself? Number 2. My First Love, Season 1. Growing up and living together with a group of friends sounds like a dream come true. And My First Love appeals to us with that fantasy we have always longed for, albeit in more ironic situations. The drama draws up a rose-tinted life of a group of 5 who share their lives together in their first in life. However, reality is never really what it seems. There are always dramas and complications swept under a rug. And one such complication in the drama is the love triangle between the female lead Sung-gi, her childhood friend Tae-oh, and his university friend Do-hyun. Fresh off the start, Sung-gi and Tae-oh have claimed the spotlight for themselves, as your typical childhood friends who look out for each other. Glued together since childhood, we are under the impression that this is a typical romance, and this might be a predictable progress from friend to lover. From their constant bickering to intimate moments in the common house, they totally sound like an OTP in the making. And yet, the series makes a giant drift when Do-hyun confesses his feelings for Sung-gi. His words are plain as he expresses how he can barely provide the expensive gifts in restaurants, but he can provide wholeheartedly with his feelings. Honestly, who can't resist these sweet and sincere words of confession? Not Sung-gi, that's for sure. And for the rest of the series, we see the couple getting closer and closer, finally sealing their relationship with a loving kiss in the last episode. A game changer for the second lead. If you're team #main lead though, well, you can try out Season 2. Overall, My First Love is a simple and lighthearted drama perfect for the gloomy pandemic. It's also filled with handsome actors and pretty actresses. So what's there not to like? Number 3. The King in Love. Let's change the wind with a historical drama this time, shall we? Because The King in Love is our top pick when it comes to historical dramas with a captivating love triangle. The series focuses on Won, an ambitious king-to-be, and his best friend Wang Rin, who is less extroverted and more reserved. However, opposites attract, and they have been glued together since childhood despite many differences. Nonetheless, their friendship faces difficulty when the female lead San appears and steals both of their hearts. Named The King in Love, it is already obvious what the story is going to tell: a king with feelings for someone determined to be with her. Since childhood, Won has been ambitious and will do what it takes to get what he wants. So it is the most safe to assume that our male lead Won will end up with his dream girl, while the second lead Wang Rin stays further away, like how it had been for half of the series. And yet, in the later half, The King in Love completely blew our minds. It was Won who stepped down and let his best friend make the move. And as Wang Rin got his own happiness, Won was also satisfied, even if things ended with him lonely on the throne. Amid the political turbulence that prevails throughout the drama, this love triangle had given the story a more lighthearted tone, and was the chicken soup to the audience's soul as love was shown in both romance and friendship. Number 4. My Holo Love. That's to say, the case in My Holo Love is a bit more unique. The series introduces a fictional world so densely populated with technology, and a 30-year-old Han So-yeon, living a reclusive life due to her blindness. But soon, So-yeon's fate was on the path to change, when she stumbled upon a pair of magical glasses that grants her access to a hologram assistant called Holo. It turns out that Holo is an AI, created by the inventor Go Nando. So after So-yeon agreed to be a tester for the device, Nando begins to observe her every move. Holo and Nando share the same face, yet they're as different as chalk and cheese. While Holo is approachable, playful, and caring towards So-yeon, Nando is cold, distant, and easily irritable. We often see him in a closed-off lab, flooded with computers and scribbled whiteboards. He usually watches So-yeon from afar and through a screen to see how her and his invention interact, and gradually falls for the unfortunate girl. Meanwhile, despite only being an AI, Holo finds himself growing closer with So-yeon, to the surprise of Nando. The series focuses a lot on Holo, how he feels love and is loved in return. In a sense, he's the male lead of the series, with feelings realer than himself, growing more independent as a person, not as a programmed device. Still, in the end, a relationship between a mere hologram and a human just can't come to fruition, and So-yeon predictably ended up with a second lead. It was a unique love triangle, that's for sure. And last but not least, we have the debatable case where the one who wins is not exactly the male lead. Number 5. Reply 1988. As the third installment of the Reply series, Reply 1988 also poses the question of who will be the husband of the female lead Duk-sun. In the first episode, we are introduced to her group of friends, including the funny Dong-rong, the caring Sun-woo, the stoic Jung-kwan, and finally, the naive Choi-taek. This series was a gust of nostalgia, a reminder of youth, and basically an anthem of friendship as well as familial love. But back to the topic. For a good half of the series, we were confused over who among the friends was the actual male lead. Duk-sun originally was fond of Sun-woo, but when he was revealed to be interested in her older sister, all those feelings went flying out the window. Slowly but surely, Jung-kwan emerges to be the one with the most screen time and the most interaction with the female lead. However, Taek was also falling for Duk-sun, and the two settled for truce, where none confessed and neither made any move. We also get to see the different sides of the two guys, and the endgame was also unveiled slowly with it. Jung-kwan was subtly caring, subtly indulging, and never making his feelings clear. Meanwhile, Taek was more forward, more daring, and of course, ended up as the eventual winner. Due to Jung-kwan's ample screen time for most of the series, and Taek's lack thereof, many viewers argue that Jung-kwan had been the male lead the entire time. But considering the series' format of looking for the final guy, could it have been the opposite? And here are some honorable mentions if you want more second leads that got the girl. Dream High, where the new guy defeated the childhood friend. Baker Kim Tak-gu, the male lead is better suited as a loner. Nail Shop Paris, who would have thought that it would not be the boss? And that's the list. Do you know any other series where the second lead won in the end? Do let us know if that's the case. Just comment your opinion down below. And if you want more videos like this, like, share, and subscribe to bbalidrama. We'll come back soon. See ya!